Hello everybody, this is JD again. Okay, I'm going to have to do a couple on the economy if we really want to know what's going on. How do I feel? This is my personal feelings, mind you. This is what I observed and what I have seen throughout the world. And I've been kind of watching it for a little bit longer than most people do watch. Because things have been happening and I've been watching. And things have been said when I was in high school. And I'm watching these things happen as was predicted. What's happening right now, back in the 60s, were predicted when I was in high school. I'm talking 62, 63, 64 time frame. Social studies teachers who did a lot of work predicted certain things happening, and they are happening, almost identical. Even though we were in the Vietnam, starting the Vietnam era, what we're seeing today was predicted and told in our class. We did not believe, but it's still going to be turned around. What am I talking about? Our economy. Okay, people have to understand the economic backbone of any society. And that is its economy. When you have a weak economy, your society is weak. You have a strong economy, your society is strong. Simple logic. But an economy is made up of three basic things. Now, we're not going to talk about individual. We'll talk about the three basic things. 1, developing your natural resources. 2, enhancing and developing your manufacturing. And then having your consumers. The United States, for the past untold years, has been nothing but consumers. We are not a manufacturing nation anymore, haven't been for a long time. And as far as developing our natural resources, I'll get onto that when I talk about these jerks who call themselves Greenpeace groups. And that's the best I can describe them. I know you guys are going to be hating me by the time anything really happens, but the truth of the matter is you are so self-centered into your own indulgent self that you do not realize that you are a contradiction to all life. And I will prove that when I do my writing or my talking on Greenpeace and the hypocrisy that you all develop. Okay, but to get into our economy. The three things that you've got to have a strong society. Doesn't matter which country it is, what government it is, you have to have developing your natural resources, you have to have enhancing and developing manufacturing, and you have to have consuming. If you don't have all three, you have weak society. If you have just manufacturing and consumer, like Japan prior to World War II, you still have problems. You are dependent upon other nations for your very existence. But if you have all three, you have a strong, solid economy. Now, what do we need to fix our economy? It is weak, it is feeble, it is falling apart completely. We are entering a depression era. We are leaving recession. It's not getting any better, and it's continuing to tumble. I mean, if you look at the news about GM's going to be going bankrupt. Unions aren't going to give an inch. They can't do nothing about it. They can't compete at manufacturing cars, paying people $35, $50 an hour, when other people manufacturing similar cars are getting paid $19. So the people who are getting $35, $50 an hour apparently do not need to work. They're not interested in keeping a job. So the last of our manufacturing is going out the window. Unless somebody hits somebody in the head somewhere. Realize it's time to give up. The big bubble broke. We all can't be millionaires. Sorry, people. So, what should we do? Well, let's look at the world economy first. Look at the examples we have in the world. About 10, 15 years ago, maybe not that long ago, Brazil was in a total chaos. Worse shape than we are now. But they kind of got a handle on things, don't they? They got a kind of a developing economy, growing economy. China, though we are their main consumers, economy is still growing. It was able to handle the hiccup that our economy created in theirs. A bad hiccup, but their economy could handle it. And the Russian economy, that was completely destroyed by the Soviet Union, is now, with the help of the United States, a growing economy. Then you have other economies in the world. You have the European market. There's not much I could say about them. They live in the past. They love to tax everybody to death. They love to regulate everybody's life. They have not gotten past the fall of the Roman Empire. The height of the European government was the Roman Empire. Since then, it has been collapsing. They cannot acknowledge it. They want to rule the world. The only people that seem to want to rule the world worse than the European markets is our own Congress, the House and Senate. So, what are we going to do? We need to look at these economies and see what's good and what's bad. Unfortunately, the European market, which we seem to want to model ourselves after, is a complete failure. It's continuing to fail. It's continuing to crumble. But they got an out. They invested too much in the America, which caused them to collapse. Or we can look at the other economies that are growing and realize we need to develop our natural resources to the fullest of their ability. Coal, oil, gas, lumber. Our scientific resources, hydrogen, nuclear. Our environmental resources, wind, sun, solar power, geothermal, and of course our other resources, the American mind. We need to develop all of those resources to the fullest. Our manufacturing, we need to get back online. Ensure that our food manufacturing market is there above all else. Be sure the farmers can plant the crops. The cattlemen can grow the beef. The chicken men who raise chickens and pigs can raise their product. In other words, ensure above all else we maintain our food production. Increase our natural minerals production, steel, and all the other minerals that we have. Look at ways to get us from the oil-based society. Increase our hydrogen and increase manufacturing in this country. By doing that, we will increase jobs. Increasing jobs will then make us consumers again. We have consumers, they'll be buying cars, they'll be buying houses, they'll be paying off houses, they'll be paying off cars, they'll be having their family together again. That's what we need to do. We need to look at putting the American worker back to work to a degree so strong and so intense as we did during World War II and afterwards. Competing in the world market is not our problem. Not having jobs in this country, not manufacturing, not developing our natural resources. That is our problems. That's why our economy is collapsing. We don't develop our natural resources. We are almost completely out of manufacturing. We are nothing more than a consuming nation. And a consuming nation will run out of money. Thank you. This is JD.